Hey everyone, it's been a minute since I have made a video. Um, it's summertime, been distracted. Also feeling scattered and unfocused, which I'm learning is not a unique experience. It's Friday morning and I'm sending this video out from my COVID office, which is a picnic table at Columbia Park near my home. This is where I take calls. And as I walk around, I look for feathers. This is this morning's bounty. I was here yesterday about 14 hours ago, and I got about 40 feathers, so it seems to me that there must be a lot of naked crows flying around Portland. But it's molting season, so they're shedding what they don't need, and that's sort of become my walking mantra as I walk under these big trees and listen to clients and their needs and their struggles, and find feathers of birds that no longer need them. And there seems to be a lot of meaning in that for me. And I think about what I'm shedding, and I think about what's no longer serving me, and I'm imagining that there's not necessarily pain associated with losing feathers that you don't need, but what do I know? And I wanted to tape some musings for a minute because I'm sensing a lot of tiredness from my friends and my family and my clients and my colleagues, that there's a weariness. Some days we don't feel it as much, but some days it's just under the surface, and some days we're still struggling to get out of bed. And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It means that you are, what are we? March, April, May, June, July, August, 6 months in here in the States to living in a pandemic. That we are several months into another amplified experience of social unrest and systemic racism. As a white person, I certainly experience that differently than Black and Indigenous people of color, but we're holding a lot. We have different capacity to hold emotions, to set with emotions, to name emotions, to acknowledge emotions, but we're all holding a lot. We're all sensing a lot because that's what our nervous systems do, even if we don't know we're doing it. Our own survival means we're paying attention to the nervous systems around us. Even if those other nervous systems are 6 feet away from us, even if they're on Zoom calls, even if we're only sensing them through Twitter, we have to read fear. We have to read anxiety because it's the only way we stay alive. And there's a lot of that out there. There's also joy. There's also creativity. There's also success and progress. And if you're experiencing any of that, fantastic. You're allowed to feel joy in hard times. You're allowed to have great personal success, even when other folks are losing their job and losing their shit. It's a complicated world. Makes me think of a Cloud Cult song called Complicated Creation. Some days you give thanks, some days you give the finger. It's a complicated creation. I'll drop that link down below. So if you're feeling the complexity today, if you feel how complicated things are in your home, in your family, in your friendships, at work, in the frickin' grocery store, thinking about a new school start, life is really fucking complicated right now. So part of how I'm going to manage that is walking through Columbia Park, finding the lost feathers of birds that no longer need them. I don't know what that means, but it's free and it gets me moving. And it returns me to the same picnic table under these big trees who are not reacting to the pandemic and who have been standing here for several decades. And I don't know what that practice might be for you, where you can go and feel some certainty and some stability, some beauty, some transition that is not political or not ego-driven, but based on the seasons. What would it look like for you to center yourself in that this weekend? Do you have a block of nature that you can walk to? Do you have feathers either literally or figuratively that you can find? What is it that you need to shed? And do you shed it in silence? Do you shed it collectively? I see you. Nobody's doing this alone, even though some days it really feels like it.